I like to get my feet massaged.
Right.
I like paying for it.
Oh.
It's very cheap here in Los Angeles to get your feet massaged. You go to these Asian foot massage places for $20 or $25 for an hour. They will rub your feet.
Wow.
And they also will like rub your shoulders and your back and your butt a little bit, and you know, and your hands and so forth. You keep your clothes on. You're in a big room, right? And it's usually done. There's just an Asian woman, but frequently it's these Asian men, right? And the Asian men, you know, they have little hands and they're soft, right? It's not that bad, right? But the last time I went to a new place, it was called Masa Massage, right? Yeah, see, Steve-O, he's got little soft Asian hands.
Yeah, porcelain.
So, and I like it better when it's a woman. I relax more. But once you soak your feet and they start rubbing your shoulders, they put these towels over you. You just stop caring.
You don't know the difference.
You don't care. It feels good, right? So it's just it's awesome. There you go. Look at this. It's so good, man. You relax. Your feet are up there. You push you roll your jeans up to your. Yeah, it's awesome, right? I love it. It's $20. It's for an hour. It's
for that
crazy.
kind of happiness.
Right, for that kind of joy. It's so good, right? And so, but anyway, so last time I go to this place, right?
Yeah.
And I go to soak my feet, and then out comes this, like, in hospital scrubs, this guy's like 6'2", 195, really good shape, 31-year-old, some scruff, black guy. Like, these aren't the rules that have been established.
That is not what it looked like in the brochure.
At these massage places. Yeah. Everybody else there, Asian. Guy in hospital scrubs, 6'1", 195.
You said it was called Masa foot massage.
That also made me a little uncomfortable. There was a little, there you go, yeah. Yeah, you want the address?
Yeah, I'd like that later.
And he's like, hey, how you doing? And I'm like, what do you mean, hey, how you doing? I'm
petrified now, that's how I'm doing.
How I'm doing is I need the broken English that I associate with these places, okay? And he's like, I really like your watch. What kind of band is that? I'm like, we're not supposed to be able to communicate this easily, okay? And then let me have your hand for a sec. And then instead of the sort of the gentle this, he's got man hands. So he's like, you know, right?
Really getting in there.
He's got the gruffness of a longshoreman, right? I mean, this guy is all man. This guy's a man, right? And I have a very tough time relaxing during this. And I try, and I fall asleep eventually because he's working the feet. I care less. But then as he's coming up, and it was the hands. It was the hand-on-hand rubbing. Is that
a little too intimate for you?
So I want to know two things.
Okay.
One is my objection to this, and I got through it, and it was okay, and it was fine. And one, am I being homophobic right now?
Sure.
And am I being racist? Those are my, I think, two very practical questions that need to be asked. The homophobia question. Well, I asked both questions of you. You've dated a black guy.
Gentleman of color.
Yeah, you like you like our brown brothers.
Not opposed to it. No, well, I'm a sort of equal opportunity.
And I as well. I was married to a black woman.
Sure. At first I would love to hammer you for this and say you're being ridiculous and just shut up and deal with the massage and get on with your life. But when you describe this man,
you got a little turned on.
I got so turned on that I can only imagine how oppositely unturned on you were.
Right.
So it's not fair for me to say, oh, shut up, he's just a dude. No, he sounds hot. I'm not going to lie to you. He sounds fucking perfect.
No, he was a nice looking guy.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So because I find him, in theory, to be so attractive, I can imagine that you're like, it's a little too much.
When I saw him there, I thought he was a customer. I was like, oh, this guy came from his day.
From surgery, scrubbing
totally.
him down.
I was like, this guy's an intern.
Right.
Like, he looked young enough that, like, he's like he's like in his residency.
Sure.
Right. And he's come here to, like, get a little foot massage. Probably been on for 16 hours. And then he was like, all right, sit down. And I was like, oh, shit. And now I can't request someone else. If it was a guy and there was a free woman, I could do it. But I can't now because he's a black guy. I can't, and now I'm totally screwed. So, JR.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt for you to step outside your comfort zone a little more, but for these purposes, I kind of understand. Well, JR, where do you stand on this?
Well, the thing is, we know it's not racist because if it was a big white dude, you'd have the same problem.
I hope. No, you know what? I would. If it was a big longshoreman white guy, I would have been. But I would have been more comfortable if it was a big white guy saying.
Passing.
Right. At least saying, you know, could I wait and have somebody else But here, I definitely had the white guilt of not being able to say I don't want.
Yeah, because you're worried how it looks. Because your reason for wanting to switch off was because he was a dude, a big dude.
No, that's exactly right. My wanting to switch off was because he was just. It wasn't so much even that he was big. It was he could have been. He was so masculine. He was such a guy, right? But I couldn't say anything because he was black. That part of it was what.
Yeah, and in order for something to be homophobic, it's not that okay. You can be fine with gay relationships, marriage, all that stuff, but it doesn't mean that you want to participate.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it means you're just against you involving yourself in it. That's all. So why should you want? You don't have to enjoy a rub down from a guy. But you can enjoy that somebody else may enjoy it. You don't have to have a problem with a guy who wants it.
But what's I agree with you totally, and of course that's true. But what's weird is that I've grown comfortable with it if the guy is not that masculine.
But
like I definitely have a range.
Sure.
Like, but if it's like a guy who looks like he works at the docks,
Dwayne Johnson.
no.
Yeah.
Right, then I can't do it. But if it's a guy who's sort of soft,
it's all
and
the same.
also, and by the way, if the English isn't that good for some reason, if we have a communication problem, fine, then I'm down.
You might like Thailand.
Yeah, I think I would.
Are you familiar with the Lady Boy?
Well, yeah, I got
Okay.
that whole thing.
Now, here's my thing, though. I think women feel the exact same way you do because I've gotten many massages, you know, full body and no clothes and the whole thing. And when it's like a woman and she's like, okay, like, you know, come on. And you're like, all right, fine. But if it's a big, hot dude, then even I'm like, ugh, this is a whole thing now.
Right.
Yeah. So I think it is discriminatory. I just think we like our physical service people to be the fairer sex.